Well, if you look on the website, I list I Will as a hidden gem, a masterpiece. And in my mind it is. The Beatles had many of these songs in their repertoire. Some of them became popular, well-known hits. Yesterday comes to mind as an example of a gem, a masterpiece, but not a hidden gem. I Will was recorded on and released on the flip side of Obla Di Obla Da, which of course in its kind of poppy, circusy kind of way was a wonderful song, but hidden in there on the flip side and on the White Album was I Will. This song took 67 takes to record and didn't involve George Harrison at all, which was a bit of a surprise to me. Here's a hidden gem, a masterpiece. The Beatles, Paul McCartney, I Will. Okay, well today we have a short, beautiful song, and I thought about the original key, and if we were playing in some open chords, it would be fine. But I decided when I put this lesson together to use full bar chords, just because I like the bass end of the guitar added to this. So once I made that decision, I thought, well, why not drop it down half a step? It's no big deal. And instead of having to play an extra bar chord with the Fs and the B flats and that sort of thing, now I've simplified it a little bit, because your opening chord is just a nice open E, and then there's also an open A in there as well, and that's just going to make the song a little bit easier. So we are in a half step down, the key of E, and here are the chords you need. You need an open E, you need a C sharp minor bar chord, an F sharp minor bar chord, a B bar chord, a G sharp minor bar chord, and these are in order of appearance in the song. So back when I told you needed an open E, you also need an E7. And if you're not familiar with that particular E7, it's just made by playing an E major chord and then adding your pinky to the D note, the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. You need an open A, and I'm going to play it this way with my pinky flattened across 3 strings for the simple reason that I've got to play the open B or the B bar chord right after it. That way I can just slide up. If you play a B bar chord with your 3rd finger, doing the work there, then you could consider, I don't do that. It's much easier for me to use my pinky to bar this. Okay, so that's my suggestion on the open A chord. Okay, you also need an F sharp 7 bar chord. And then finally, and only once in the song, and this is a beautiful chord change, you need just a C bar chord right near the end of the song. Alright, well first things first, let's walk through the chord progression for the song. And this song kicks in right away. The first note that you sing comes in on the 4 beat. So it's 1, 2, 3. Who knows how long I've loved you? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Who knows how long I've loved you? Okay. So here's the chord progression. We'll just go through it nice and slowly and put the chords on the screen. Who knows? Open E. How long? C sharp minor. I've loved you. F sharp minor. B. And the second time through, you know I love you. And this time goes to the G sharp minor. Still. So reviewing that, who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Then it goes to the E7. Will I? And those 3 strums come during the words will I. Will I? We'll get to the strumming pattern in a minute. I'm sure you can hear it's quite simple. It's a straight down, up, down, but I'll show you what the right hand is doing after we get done this. And then we're going to go from open A, wait a lonely lifetime. Okay, so we've got open A, B, C sharp minor, and then back to the E7. If you want me to, and then we're going to go back into that opening sequence of E, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B. Okay, so the whole thing, nice and slow. Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. All right. Now that's the essence of the verses in this beautiful song. And what we'll do now is we'll switch over to the right hand and show you just what the right hand is playing there. All right, strumming, we're going to keep it nice and simple. It's going to be just a straightforward down, up, down. Notice how I'm cutting each chord though, the third strum. After the third strum, down, up, down, on that last down, I'm cutting the chord by stopping it with my hand. That's the sequence. So nice and slow, here we go. Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. All right, let's take a look at the end of the second verse because it ends a little bit differently in order to segue into the little bridge section of the song. Okay, so here's the second verse. For if I ever saw you, I didn't catch your name, but it never really mattered. I will always feel the same. So at the end, I will always feel the same. We go to the E major, and then the E7, and that's going to take us into the next section. Strumming's just a tiny bit different there. I will always feel the same. Okay, let's talk about the bridge section. Okay, now we have this very short bridge section, which is played a little bit different chord structure, and it just separates the second verse from the third verse. It's a nice little interlude, and it goes like this. Love you forever and forever. Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together. Love you when we're apart. Okay, so we go, love you forever and forever. And that's going to go from A to B to the C sharp minor, but it's going to hold the C sharp minor for two measures. Love you forever and forever. And then repeat. Love you with all my... But this time, instead of going to C sharp minor, we go to the E hard. E and E7. Love you whenever we're together. This is when we introduced for the first time in the song the F sharp 7. Love you when we're apart.
Can we do that together, nice and slowly? One more time. Love you forever and forever. Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together. Love you when we're apart. All right, well, let's take a nice slow walk through the ending of the song, which features the last verse and a little surprise chord, very cool chord, towards the end of the song here. So let's just walk through this slowly. The beginning of the verse is the same as what we've been playing. And when at last I find you, your song will fill the air. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Okay, so this is where it's a little bit different. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Now that's basically just an E sus and an E. Or if you like, you're kind of playing an A chord, A-E there, A-E. But what I'm really doing is just taking that E chord, like this, using these three fingers, 2, 3, and 4, and flattening out the pinky to cover the A chord formation. And it's a quick hit like that. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Make it easy to be near you. Okay, twice like that. For the things you do endear you to me. So we're going A, B, C sharp, minor, E7. For the things you do endear you to me, you know. And here's where it takes this really cool change. We're going to go to the C bar chord here. I will, I will. For the things you do endear you to me, you know. I will, I will. Very, very cool little change at the end there to that C chord. Okay, just a quick glimpse at the right hand during that C and E chord at the end of the song. You know I will. I will. Okay. Very well, then the last piece of the puzzle is to go from that C, E to the ending of the song and figure out how to retard the ending a little bit to make it purty. So here we go. For the things you do endear you to me, you know I will, I will. La 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 la. So we basically take it back down to the final three chords, la, 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 which are an A, a B, and an E. Okay, this is a little bit longer lesson, but that's okay because it's a short song, so we have time for a full playthrough. All right, I have a tendency to speed up in this song a little bit, so I'm just going to incorporate the assistance of my friend the drummer here to keep me on tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. love you when we're apart, and when at last I find you, your song will fill the air. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Make it easy to be near you. For the things you do endear you to me. Ah, you know I will. I will. Okay, well, you notice I can't slow down the drum machine, so we missed our nice little retard ending there. Oh, be quiet. All right, time for fine tuning. All right, well, I apologize for the drum machine. You really should have just a nice maraca or tambourine for percussion accompaniment on this song. But for fine tuning today, I wanted to touch on something in particular, and that is I showed you just a real basic. Strum, 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 strum. If you have a natural feel and a natural sense of rhythm, feel free to just play around with the rhythms and the feel of this song. I'll give you a little example. Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lifetime? If you want me to, I will. Now, I think for me, if I were playing that song, I would play it that way. It would just have a little more jazzy kind of feel to it. But that is a feel thing. Feel comfortable to experiment as you learn chord progressions and as you learn strumming patterns. Feel free to experiment with the slightly off time chording and different rhythms. It's going to enhance a lot of songs for you if you play around with that. So that's just a little offering for fine tuning today. But I would take this song in whatever manner you choose to present it and save it for that special person in your life perhaps. Unveil it one evening. There you go, Paul McCartney from the White Album, I Will. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.